rev up your engines. Today I'm going to show you the many uses of a multimeter when fixing your car. And as usual, I'm going to show you how to save money doing it. Now, you don't want to buy the cheap piece of junk that is going to break when you're using the meter, and you don't want to buy the super expensive one that you don't need. So here's what I've discovered. Now, just for kicks, I got this Equus at AutoZone. It was like $18. Then I got this BlueDriver that's $49. It's much more professional. And I also have this Fluke. It is an excellent meter. I use it all the time as a professional mechanic, but it costs $550. For $49, this BlueDriver does quite a bit of things that this $550 one goes, so you might think about this. Because the cheap ones, hey, they're really light. They're not fused that well inside. You start messing with amps and stuff, these things can easily melt. Well, quality unit like this, hey, it seems to work quite well, and it does a whole bunch of things since it's an automotive tester when you're working on your car. Where the Fluke, hey, professional electricians use these. If you're not messing with alternating electricity, houses, construction stuff, you really don't need something as solid duty as this. Now, with the insane use of electronics on modern cars, you really need a good meter if you're going to be working on any serious electrical problems. Now, the first thing I like about this BlueDriver meter is that it's auto ranging. You don't have to keep clicking it to guess how many amps or how many volts. You just put it on amps or volts and it automatically ranges and gives you the correct reading. You can see on a cheaper meter, you got to guess how many voltage you're measuring or how many amps. And a lot of times you might have the decimal point off, so you might actually have 12 volts, but it'll say 1.2, and it gets confusing. An auto ranging one is the way to go. Let's say you want to check the battery. Just plug in the leads, positive and negative, go to the battery and touch it. And here we have 12.64 volts. It's that simple to check stuff. Now let's say you want to measure the amp draw of an electric fan to see if it's good or bad, if it's starting to go out. This works great. You just push it on amps. In this case, it's 20 amp DC. And here's the amperage. This is the low speed fan. This is a multi-speed fan. The low speed's only taking 0.44 of an amp, so it's fine. It's not draining too much. If the amperage is too high, that means that the motor's just taking too much energy because it's burning itself out and it needs a new one. You can check all kinds of stuff with an amp meter once they have power on them. Now, another handy thing this tool has is it's got a contact thermometer for measuring temperatures. As you can see, even though it's early in the morning in Houston, I'm sweating because it's 86.9 and it's like 99% humidity. You hook the temperature probe up to the tool, then stick it in your vent and turn on the AC. You can check the various vents to see if there's a temperature difference in them. And really, temperature is a relative thing. It's not to this machine, it measures it absolutely, so you can know if it's really working right or not. And in this case, we have a 25-year-old Toyota that's putting out 53-degree air when it's 90 degrees outside, so that's pretty decent. You can even stick in the exhaust and measure the exhaust gas temperature to see if the exhaust is getting too hot and you might have a problem with the catalytic converter. And if you have cool tools like this ES Load Pro that loads circuits to find shorts, it plugs right into this meter. I realize that this Load Pro costs about twice as much as the meter itself, but you know, being a mechanic, I've got all this stuff lying around, so I can use all my good tools on this too. They have universal connectors. You can even connect non-contact ammeters to it to see if you have any kind of parasitic drain on your battery. It's got all kinds of different things you can do. You could spend a week learning how to use every single one of them. Heck, it's even got a built-in RPM tachometer. If you're working on your car and you don't have the tach on the car, you can hook this up to read that too. Does all kinds of stuff for 49 bucks. Because let's face it, cars are going electronic and you can't see electricity. You gotta have a meter in order to understand what's happening with electricity. You can't just guess. When I was a young mechanic, hey, we'd guess on stuff all the time because cars are pretty simple. But today, there's so much computer stuff, and you gotta have a digital meter and a good one in order to work on those things. Anything that'll go from millivolt to higher amperage ones if you're working on an alternator. But as a warning for those who might own a hybrid car and want to work on those electronics, you can't use this one. Heck, you can't even use my $550 one for a lot of that stuff. The hybrid ones, because they use really low power electricity for some of the stuff and really high power stuff for the other, you need a gauge that costs well over $1,500 because they're going for milliamps and then they're going for mega amps. So you need something that's super expensive. Plus, You really don't want to work on a hybrid car unless you're a professional electrician or a mechanic that's trained on them, because you can kill yourself with that high voltage. You have to get voltage-free gloves and check them before you put it on so it doesn't arc through the glove and electrocute them. That's stuff that's better left to pros. Now, since this is Mechanic Monday, I'm giving away one of these BlueDriver multimeters. To have a chance to win, just place a clean, non-offensive comment on the YouTube comments below, and a winner will be chosen randomly by a computer to get this nice multimeter for working on their own car. You can also use it on your house, too. I've done that. Because it will work between 750 and 1,000 volts, too. So most houses never go over 240 volts. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.